The morning sun rose over the mining colony of Kepler-4 for to be like any other day. Park Tae-ho walked through the metal corridors of the main building, checking the daily reports. His boots made soft sounds on the floor as he moved from room to room. "Morning, Tae-ho," called Kim Sora from the engine room. She was covered in grease and oil, working on the big mining machines. "The drill number 3 is making strange sounds again." Tae-ho smiled. Sora always worried about the machines like they were her children. "Can you fix it?" "Of course I can fix it," she said with a laugh. "Give me 2 hours." The colony was home to 200 people. They came from Earth 3 years ago to dig for rare metals in the ground. The work was hard, but the pay was good. Most people were happy here. Tae-ho had been a soldier back on Earth. He fought in the Korean Army for 10 years before coming to space. Now he was in charge of keeping everyone safe and making sure the work got done. He walked to the communication room where Lee Jamin was sitting at his desk. Jamin was young, only 25, but he was very good with radios and computers. "Any messages from Earth?" Tae-ho asked. "It's the usual supply ship reports," Jamin said. "Nothing important." Tae-ho nodded and continued his morning walk, liked to see everyone and make sure they were okay. It was a habit from his army. Days, but today was different. Today, something was watching them from space. Far above the planet, a dark ship moved through the black sky. It was long and sharp, like a knife made of metal. Inside the ship, creatures with gray skin and yellow eyes looked at screens showing the human colony. "Look at them," said Commander Kethfer, the leader of the hunting party. His voice was deep and cold. "They move around like small animals. They have no idea we are here." Kethfer was tall, almost 8 feet. His hands had sharp claws, and his teeth were pointed like a wolf's. He wore black armor that made him look even more scary. "They look weak," said another hunter. "This will be easy. All prey looks weak until you hunt it," Kethfer said. "These humans... They are different from the others we have hunted before." The Velthari had been hunting in space for thousands of years. They traveled from planet to planet looking for new species to hunt. They had killed entire worlds of creatures. To them, it was sport, it was fun. They had heard about humans from other alien traders. The stories said humans were soft and weak, had no claws, no sharp teeth, no thick skin. They looked like perfect prey. "Begin the hunt," Kethfer ordered. "Block their communications first. I want them to feel alone." Down on the planet, Jamin was trying to send the daily report to Earth, but his radio was making strange noises. "That's weird," he said to himself. He tried different channels, but none of them worked. "Tae-ho," he called out. "The radio's broken." Tae-ho came running. "What's wrong?" "I can't reach Earth. I can't reach the supply ships. Nothing is working." Tae-ho felt something cold in his stomach. In the army, he had learned that when communications stopped working, it usually meant trouble was coming. "Keep trying," he told Jamin. "I'm going to check the outer stations." The colony had 5 small buildings outside the main area. People lived there and worked the mining machines. Tae-ho got in his vehicle and drove to the first one. The building was quiet, too quiet. "Hello?" Tae-ho called out. No one answered. He walked inside. The lights were on, but no people were there. Food was still on the table, half-eaten. A cup of coffee was still warm. Tae-ho's heart started beating faster. His soldier training told him to be careful. He took out his radio. "Zara, come in," he said. "I'm here," came her voice. "Something is wrong. Get everyone inside the main building now." "What's happening?" "Just do it. And tell them to bring weapons if they have any." Tae-ho drove to the second outer station. It was the same thing. No people, but signs that they had been there just minutes before. At the third station, he found something that made his blood cold. There was a hole in the wall, perfectly round, like it had been cut with a very hot knife. The metal around it was melted. "This is not human technology," he said to himself. He drove back to the main building as fast as he could. Sora had done what he asked. Everyone was inside, looking scared and confused. "What's going on?" asked Han Min-soo, one of the older workers. "I don't know yet," Tae-ho said. "But people are missing from the outer stations. and something made holes in the walls. Holes. Asked Dr. Kong Hajin, the colony's doctor. Perfect round holes, cut through thick metal. The people started talking all at once. Some were scared, some were angry, some didn't believe it. Quiet, Teho shouted. Everyone stop talking. I know this is scary, but we need to stay calm and work together. Maybe it's some kind of accident, suggested Choi Yin, who studied the planet's plants and animals. 15 people don't disappear in an accident, Teho said. Someone or something took them. Outside, the Valthari hunters were moving closer to the main building. They moved like ghosts, invisible to human eyes because of their advanced technology. The prey is gathering together, one hunter reported to Kethfer. This will make it easier, no, Kethfer said. This is different. Most prey runs away when we start hunting. These humans are coming together. Why? Maybe they are more stupid than we thought. But Kethfer was starting to feel something he had never felt before during a hunt. Doubt. Inside the building, Teho was thinking fast. He remembered his training. When facing an unknown enemy, you had to learn about them quickly. Shimen, he said. Can you make the cameras work? Maybe if I can get power to the outer stations, do it. I want to see what's out there. While Jamin worked on the cameras, Teho gathered the people who had military training. There were only 5 of them, but it was better than nothing. We need to prepare for a fight, he told them quietly. I don't know what we're fighting, but something is hunting us. The word hunting made everyone very quiet. They all understood what that meant. We're not animals, said Sergeant Odongwook, who had been a soldier like Teho. If something wants to hunt us, we'll show them what humans can do. Outside in the darkness, the Valthari were getting ready for their final attack. They had no idea that they were about to learn something new about the species they thought would be easy prey. The hunt was about to begin. But the hunters were about to discover that humans were very different from any prey they had ever faced before. The cameras came back online just as the sun was setting. Lee Jamin stared at the screens, his face turning white. Ho, he whispered. You need to see this. Ho rushed to the communication room. On the screen, he could see shapes moving. In the darkness around the colony, they were tall and moved like shadows. How many? Taho asked. I count at least 20, Jamin said. Maybe more. They're surrounding us. The shapes on the screen didn't look human. They were too tall, too thin, and they moved in ways that made Teho's skin crawl. What are they? Asked Dr. Kang Haijin, who had come to see what was happening. I don't know, Teho said. But they're not friendly. Suddenly, one of the creatures looked directly at the camera. Its eyes glowed yellow in the dark. Then the screen went black. They found the camera, Jamin said. Can you get the others working? I'll try. But if they're destroying them, ... A loud sound came from outside. It was like metal being cut with a hot knife. Everyone in the room felt their hearts jump. They're coming in, Teho said. Everyone get to the center of the building. Now, the colonists ran through the halls. Children were crying. Adults were trying to stay calm but failing. Teho went to his room and got his old army rifle. It was the only real weapon in the colony. Han Minsu met him in the hallway. What can I do to help? You worked with explosives. In the mines, right? Teho asked. Yes, but those are just small charges for breaking rock. Can you make them bigger? Minsu thought for a moment. Maybe if I use the fuel from the vehicles, ... do it. Make as many as you can. In the main room, Kim Sora was looking at the metal walls. These walls are thick, she said. But if they can cut through the outer buildings, ... how long do we have? Asked Choi Yanhee. Not long, Teho said. He looked at everyone. I need to tell you something. I think we're being hunted. Hunted? Dr. Kong asked. By who? Aliens, Teho said. And they think we're easy prey. Some people started to panic. Others got angry. A few just stood there, not believing what they heard. Listen to me, Teho said in his soldier voice. We can survive this. But we have to be smart. We have to work together. Outside, Commander. Kethfer was watching his hunters cut through the walls. They are hiding in the center, he told his team. This is normal prey behavior. Should we go in now? Asked one of the hunters. No. Let them be afraid first. Fear makes the hunt more interesting. But as Kethver watched the building, he noticed something strange. The humans were not just hiding, they were moving around. Inside, doing things? What are they doing in there? He wondered. Inside the building, the humans were busy. Sra was taking apart machines to make weapons. Minsu was mixing chemicals to make explosives. Yan, he was studying the plant samples she had collected, looking for anything that might help. These plants, she said to Dr. Kang. Some of them are poisonous to the local animals. Maybe they'll work on the aliens too. How do we use them? Dr. Kang asked. We can make a gas. Put it in the air system. Taeho was making plans with the other people who had military training. Sergeant Oh Dong-wook was checking all the exits. Dong-with Sujin was organizing the civilians into groups. We need to know more about these creatures, Taeho said. How do they see? What do they move? What are their weapons? The cameras showed they have some kind of energy weapons, Jamin said. They cut through metal like it was paper. But they're not shooting at us yet, Dong-wook said. Why? Because they're playing with us, Taeho said. They think this is a game. The cutting sounds were getting closer. The aliens were almost through the outer walls. Everyone ready? Taeho asked. Minsu held up 3 homemade bombs. These will make a big noise. Sora had turned pieces of mining equipment into weapons. These shoot metal pieces very fast. Yanhaya had containers of poisonous gas. This should make them sick. Remember, Taeho said, we're not trying to win. We're trying to survive until help comes. I'm fat. Then we make them sorry they ever found us. The wall exploded inward. Pieces of metal flew everywhere. Through the smoke, tall dark shapes came into the building. The first alien hunter stepped through the hole. It was 8 feet tall with gray skin and yellow eyes. It held a weapon that glowed with blue light. Prey animals, it said, in a voice like breaking glass. Come out and make this easy. Taeho was hiding behind a table. He aimed his rifle and fired. The bullet hit the alien in the shoulder. It screamed and fell backwards. Green blood came out. Of the wound, they can be hurt. Taeho shouted. They bleed. The other hunters were shocked. Their prey had hurt one of them. This had never happened before. Kill them all, the wounded hunter screamed. The aliens started shooting their energy. Weapons. The beams cut through tables and chairs like they were made of paper, but the humans were not standing still. They were moving, hiding, fighting back. Minsu threw one of his bombs. It exploded near to aliens, knocking them down. Soras improvised. Weapons shot metal pieces at another hunter, making it run for cover. They're fighting back, one alien said. This is not normal. Yanhi broke open her containers of poison gas. The green cloud spread through the room. The aliens started coughing and choking. The air burns. One of them cried. What is this? The humans had covered their faces with wet cloth. They could breathe, but the aliens were having trouble. 4. The first time in his life, Commander Kethver felt something he had never felt during a hunt. Feared his hunters were being hurt. The prey was fighting back with weapons they had never seen before. This was not how hunts were supposed to go. Pull back, they ordered. Regroup outside. The aliens retreated through the hole they had made. The humans had won the first fight, but Taeho knew this was just the beginning. He looked at his people. 3 were hurt, but none were dead. They had supplies for more bombs and weapons. We did it, Dr. Kong said. We actually did it. This is just the first round, Taeho said. They'll come back, and they'll be angry. Outside. Kethver was talking to his hunters. They were confused and scared. Some were hurt. All of them were shocked. How did the prey hurt us? one asked. I don't know, Kethver said, but we will not let this happen again. He activated his communication device. This is Kethver. I need more hunters. ... Different. Different how? Came the reply. Day. Fight back. There was silence on the other end. Then, impossible. Prey does not fight back. These do, Kethver said. Send help. Send weapons. Send everything. Inside the building, the humans were preparing for the next attack. They had learned something important. The aliens could be hurt. They could be beaten, but they had also learned something else: the aliens would not give up easily. The real fight was just beginning. What do we do now? Asked J. Dashman. Tejo looked at his rifle, then at his people. Now we show them what happens when you hunt humans. The hunt had become something else. It had become a war. 3 days passed without another attack. Humans used the time to get ready. They knew the aliens would come back, and they would be angry. Park Tejo had not slept much. He walked around the colony, checking the new defenses his people had built. Kim Sora had turned the mining machines into weapons. Han Minsu had made more bombs. Everyone was working to survive. Any word from the outside? Tejo asked Li Jamin. Still nothing, Jamin said. But I think I can fix the long range. Radio, give me a few more hours. Do it fast. We need help. Dr. Kang Hajin was taking care of the wounded. 3 people had been hurt in the first fight, but they were getting better. She was also studying the green blood they had found where the alien was shot. It's very different from human blood, she told Tejo, but it means they can die just like us. Good to know. Outside the colony, in the dark forest, more aliens were arriving. Ships landed quietly in the night. Commander Kethver was not happy about asking for help, but he had no choice. Show me what happened, said War Leader the Chever, K, who had come from the main alien fleet. Kethver led him to where the first fight took place. The hole in the wall was still there. So was the alien blood on the ground? The prey did this? Thekver asked. Yes. They used weapons made from their mining tools. They used poison gas. They fought like ... like warriors. The caver looked at the damage. In all his years of hunting, he had never seen anything like this. Prey was supposed to run. Prey was supposed to hide. Prey was not supposed to fight back. Many hunters did you bring? Kethver asked. 50, and I brought heavy weapons. Will that be enough? It has to be. If word gets out that prey fought back against us, other species might get ideas. Inside the human colony, Choyan-Yi had made a discovery. I found something, she told Tejo. These plants I've been studying, they grow very fast when you add certain chemicals. How does that help us? I can make them grow around the colony, like a living wall. The aliens will have to cut through them, and that will slow them down. Do it. Sergeant O'Dongwook had been exploring the old mining tunnels under the colony. These tunnels go everywhere, he told Tejo. We can move around without being seen. Can we use them to escape? Maybe, but I have a better idea. We can use them to attack. Lieutenant Bei Sujin was teaching the civilians how to fight. Most of them had never held a weapon before, but they were learning fast. Remember, she told them, you don't have to be a perfect soldier. You just have to be harder to kill than they think. On the 4th day, the aliens attacked again. But this time, they came with more hunters and bigger weapons. The energy beams cut through the new plant wall that Yan-He had grown. The aliens poured into the colony compound, expecting to find scared humans hiding like before. Instead, they found empty buildings. Where are they? Asked one hunter. Spread out, Thekfor ordered. Find them. Buildings. Looking for humans. They checked every room, every corner, every hiding spot. That's when the humans attacked. Minsu's bombs exploded under the aliens' feet. The tunnels Dongwook had found let the humans appear and disappear like ghosts. Sora's weapons fired from windows and doorways. Then the humans vanished before the aliens could shoot back. It's a trap, Dekver realized. They planned this. The aliens were confused. They were used to hunting in open spaces where they could see everything. Here, the humans were using the buildings and tunnels to hide and attack. Teho led a group of fighters through the tunnels. They came up behind a group of aliens and attacked with everything they had. Bullets, bombs, and poison gas hit the aliens before they knew what was happening. "They're everywhere," one alien screamed.
"Ow, are they moving so fast?" asked another.
The humans were not faster than the aliens, but they knew every part of the colony. They knew where to hide, where to run, where to attack. The aliens were fighting in a place they didn't understand. Dr. Kong had turned the medical center into a poison gas factory. Every few minutes, she released more green clouds that made the aliens sick. Jamin was still working on the radio, trying to call for help. Bullets flew over his head as he worked. "Come on," he said to the radio. "Work." The fight went on for hours. The aliens had better weapons, but the humans were smarter. They used every trick they could think of. Wyon Dash, he had found a way to make the local plants grow very fast. She used them to block doors and windows, trapping aliens in rooms where Minsu's bombs could reach them. Sujin led a group of civilians in an attack on the alien weapons. Couldn't destroy them, but they could take them away and hide them. By the end of the day, the aliens were tired, confused, and angry. They had lost many hunters, but they had not caught a single human. "This is impossible," Kethver said. "Prey does not fight like this." "They are not prey," Kethver said quietly. "They are something else." "What do you mean they plan?" "They work together. They think ahead. They are ... They are like us." The idea was too frightening for most aliens to accept. For thousands of years they had been the hunters, they had been the smart ones, they had been the strong ones, but these humans were showing them something new, something that made them afraid. "We need the fleet," Kethver said. "All of it. The entire fleet. For one small colony? Look around you." Kethver pointed at the damaged buildings and the alien blood on the ground. "This is not a hunt anymore. This is a war." Inside the colony, the humans were celebrating. They had won another fight. More aliens were dead, and the humans were still alive. But Teho was worried. "They'll bring more," he told his people. "Many more." "How many can they bring?" asked Sora. "I don't know, but we need to be ready." Jamin suddenly jumped up from his radio. "I got it. I got through." "To who?" Teho asked. "It's the Korean Space Defense Force. Admiral Song Myung-ho himself." "What did you tell him?" "Free thing. The aliens, the attacks, the hunt. Help is coming." The humans cheered. For the first time in days, they had hope. But in space, the alien fleet was getting ready. Supreme Hunter Velthak had heard about the problems on Kepler 4 to be. He was bringing every ship he had. "We will end this," he told his commanders. "We will show the galaxy that nothing can stand against us." The humans had won 2 battles, but the real war was just beginning. In the tunnels under the colony, Teho was making new plans. Looked at his people, tired, scared, but still fighting. "They want to hunt us," he said. "We're going to show them what happens when you hunt humans. We're going to show them that we don't run, we don't hide, we fight back." Above them, the stars were full of alien ships coming to destroy them. But the humans were not afraid anymore. They had learned something important. They could win. The hunt was over. The war had begun. Admiral Song Myung-ho stood on the bridge of his flagship, Sejong the Great. Around him, 12 other ships moved through space toward Kepler 4 to be. They had been traveling for 5 days since getting Jamin's message. "How long until we reach the colony?" he asked Captain Yu Sang-woo. 6 hours, sir," you replied. "But the long-range sensors are showing something strange." "What kind of strange?" "There are many alien ships around the planet." More than 50, Song felt his stomach drop. 50 alien ships against his 13. The numbers were not good. "Are the colonists still alive?" he asked. "We're picking up radio signals from the surface. Someone down there is still fighting." Song smiled. "Then we're not too late." On the planet below, the humans had been fighting for a week. The alien attacks came every day now. Each time, more aliens arrived with bigger weapons. Park Tae-ho was in the underground command center they had. Built in the old mining tunnels, His face was dirty and tired, but his eyes were still sharp. Report, he said to Li Jimin. The aliens tried to attack Sector 3 this morning. We stopped them, but we lost 2 people. Taeho closed his eyes for a moment. These were not soldiers. They were miners and engineers and doctors who had become warriors because they had no choice. What about our weapons? Kim Sora looked up from the alien gun she was studying. I think I figured out how their energy weapons work. You might be able to copy them. How long? Give me 12 hours and some help? Han Minsu came running into the command center. Taeho, you need to see this. They followed him to the surface. In the distance, lights were falling from the sky like shooting stars. More aliens? Asked Dr. Kong Haijin. No, Taeho said, looking through his binoculars. Those are human ships. The colonists started cheering. Help had finally arrived. But in space, Admiral Song was facing a big problem. The alien fleet was much larger than his, and they were already moving to attack his ships. Enemy ships approaching. Called the sensor officer. They're big, sir. Much bigger than ours. Song looked at the tactical display. The alien ships were long and sharp, like knives made of metal. The ships were smaller but faster. Send a message to Captain Nam Ji-hoon on the Dokdo, Song ordered. Tell him to take the destroyers and attack their left side. Captain Park Yoon-suk will take the fighters and hit their right side. We'll attack the center. Sir Seju, we're outnumbered 4-1. I know, Song said. But we have something they don't expect. What's that? We're fighting to save our people. They're just hunting for sport. The space battle began. With a flash of energy beams and missiles, the alien ships fired first, their weapons cutting through space like blue lightning. But the human ships moved differently than the aliens expected. Instead of flying in straight lines like most species, the humans twisted and turned, dodging the energy beams. What are they doing? Asked Supreme Hunter Velthok from his flagship. Why do they move like that? I don't know, replied his second-in-command. Our weapons can't hit them. Captain Nam Ji-hoon piloted the destroyer Dokdo between 2 alien ships. His gunners fired everything they had at close range. The alien ships were too big to turn fast enough to follow him. This is for the colonists. Nam shouted as his ship's missiles hit the alien hull. Captain Park, Yoonsuke led her fighter squadron in a dance of death around the alien fleet. The small human fighters were like angry insects, stinging the big alien ships again and again. Stay close to their hulls, she told her pilots. They can't shoot us if we're too close. On the planet's surface, the humans could see the battle in space. Explosions lit up the sky like fireworks. Our people are winning, said Sergeant Odong-Wook. But Taeho was worried. Not yet. Look, more alien ships were coming from the other side of the planet. The space battle was far from over. In the underground tunnels, Sora was working as fast as she could to understand the alien weapons. Lieutenant Bae Sujin was helping her. I think I see how it works, Sora said. The energy comes from these crystals. If we can power them with our generators, do it, Sujin said. We need every advantage we can get. Okay, above them, Choi Yanhee was still using the local plants to slow down alien attacks. She had learned to make them grow into thick walls in just minutes. The aliens hate these plants, she told Minsu. They make them sick. Can you make more of the poison? Already working on it. 3 of his ships were damaged, and the aliens kept bringing more vessels into the fight. Sir, called the communication officer. We're getting a message from the planet. Put it through. Taeho's voice came over the radio, full of static but clear. Admiral Song, this is Park Taeho, Colony Commander. We have information about the aliens that might help you. Go ahead. Their ships are strong in front but weak on the sides. And they don't handle fast changes in direction very well. They think in straight lines. Understood? Anything else? Yes, sir. We've captured some of their weapons. We're learning how they work. Give us a few more hours, and we might be able to help you from down here. Song smiled. Even while being attacked, the colonists were thinking of ways to help. Admiral, called the sensor officer. Large alien ship approaching. It is twice the size of anything we've seen. On the alien flagship, Supreme Hunter Velthok was angry. His fleet should have destroyed the small human force in minutes. Instead, the battle had been going on for hours. "Prepare the planet destroyer," he ordered. "Sir?" His second-in-command looked shocked. "That weapon is for destroying worlds. These humans are just prey. These humans have cost us 50 ships and 1,000 hunters," Velthok roared.
They
"Are not prey. They are a threat. And threats must be eliminated completely." The huge weapon on Velthok's ship began to charge up. It glowed with red energy that could burn the surface of a planet. On the surface, Tejo saw the red glow in the sky. Everyone into the deepest tunnels. Now, but Sora had finished her work. "Wait," she called. "The alien weapon. I know how to stop it." She held up a device made from alien crystals and human technology. This should disrupt their energy flow. But someone has to get close to their ship. Admiral Song heard this over the radio. "I'll do it," he said. "No, sir," said Captain. "You. Let me take a fighter. The Sejong is too important." "We'll all go," said Captain Nam from the Dokdo. "All remaining ships. If we hit them at the same time." Human fleet turned toward the alien flagship. It was a desperate move, but it was their only chance. For Earth, Song called out. For the colony. For humanity. The human ships raced toward the giant alien vessel. The planet destroyer was almost ready to fire. In the tunnels below, the colonists waited and hoped. They had fought for so long. They had learned so much. They had changed from prey into hunters. Now everything depended on the battle in space. Above them, the tide of war was about to turn, one way or another. The red glow from the alien planet destroyer grew brighter. In a few minutes, it would fire and burn everything on Kepler-4. To be to ash. Admiral Song. Myung-ho watched his remaining ships race toward the giant alien vessel. The 8 human ships were left flying against the massive alien flagship. "All ships, listen carefully," Song said into his radio. "We attack at the same time. Hit the red weapon with everything we have." "Sir," said Captain Yusongwu, "what if we don't make it? Then we make sure our people on the planet know we tried." On the planet's surface, Park Tae-ho and his colonists waited in the deep tunnels. They could hear explosions far above them. As the space battle continued, "Will it work?" asked Dr. Kang Haijin, looking at the device Kim Sora had built. "I don't know," Sora said honestly. "I've never tried to stop a planet destroyer before." "None of us have done any of this before," said Han Minsu, "but we're still here." Lee Jamin was listening to the radio signals from space. The human ships are almost at the alien flagship, he reported. Suddenly the ground shook. Dust fell from the tunnel ceiling. "What was that?" asked Choi Yanhai. "Something big just exploded," Taeho said. "In space." Above them, Captain Nam Jahoon's destroyer Dokdo had crashed into the side of the alien flagship. The explosion damaged the planet destroyer weapon, but it was still charging. "Nam," Admiral Song called over the radio. But there was no answer. "Sir," said Captain Park Yunsku from her fighter, "the weapon is still working. We need to hit it again." "All remaining ships," Song ordered, "ram the weapon. Everything we have." "Admiral, no?" you protested. "If we all crash into it, no one will survive. If we don't stop it, everyone on the planet dies," Song said. "And then the aliens will hunt other human worlds. This ends here." The human ships turned toward the red weapon. But before they could attack, something unexpected happened. The alien flagship started breaking apart. "What's happening?" asked Supreme Hunter Velthak from his command center. "Internal explosions, sir," reported his officer. "Something is destroying our ship from the inside." In the deepest part of the alien ship, Sergeant Oh Dong-wook was setting off the last of his bombs. He had used the chaos of the space battle to sneak aboard the alien vessel with a small team of Marines. "This is for the colony," he shouted as his final explosive device went off near the planet destroyer's power source. The red weapon flickered and died. The massive alien flagship started falling toward the planet. "The weapon is down," Captain Park Yoon-suk called out. "The flagship is falling." On the surface, the colonists felt the ground shake again as the huge alien ship crashed into the forest far from their colony. "We did it," whispered Taeho. We actually did it. Battle, but the battle was not over yet. Other alien ships were still fighting in space, and more alien hunters were on the planet's surface. War leader, Lekver, who had taken command after Veltok's ship was destroyed, was confused and afraid. His entire fleet was being beaten by a much smaller human force. How is this possible? He asked his officers. We are the hunters. We are the strong ones. Sir, said one of his hunters, maybe we should retreat. Retreat. The Ver could not believe what he was hearing. We do not retreat from prey. Dot 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 eto reborted dot 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 respite in dot 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 I read dot dot I dot I dot lie dot ring. They are warriors. The word hit Thekfer like a physical blow. Warriors, not prey animals to be hunted for sport, but actual warriors who fought back with intelligence and courage on the planet. Commander Kethver was leading the last group of alien hunters in a final attack on the human colony. But everything had gone wrong. His hunters were tired, scared, and many were wounded. They reached the colony to find it defended by humans using alien weapons. Sora had figured out how to make the energy guns work with human technology. Surrender, Tejo called out to the aliens. He was standing on top of a building, holding one of their own weapons. Your fleet is destroyed. Your commander is dead. This hunt is over. Kethfer looked at the human who had caused so much trouble. This small, soft creature had turned a simple hunt into a disaster that destroyed the greatest alien fleet in the galaxy. We do not surrender to prey, Kethfer said. We're not prey, Tejo replied. We never were. You just thought we were. The final battle was short. The remaining alien hunters fought with desperation, but they were outnumbered and outgunned by humans using their own weapons against them. When it was over, Kethfer lay wounded on the ground. Tejo stood over him. Why? Kethfer asked. Why did you fight so hard? Why didn't you just run? Because that's what humans do, Tejo said. When someone tries to hunt us, we hunt them back. When someone tries to hurt our people, we protect them. And when someone thinks we're weak, we show them how strong we really are. In space, the last alien ships were surrendering to Admiral Song's fleet. Vekfer sent a message to all alien forces. All hunters, stop fighting, he said. We ... we surrender. The words were the hardest thing he had ever said. In the entire history of his species, they had never surrendered to anyone. But these humans had shown them something they had never seen before. They had shown them what happened when prey refused to be prey. 3 months later, Kepler 4 for 2b was very different. The small mining colony had become a military base. General Park Tejo, he had been promoted after the battle, commanded a full regiment of soldiers. The alien prisoners were kept on a nearby moon. Some, like Kethvar, were learning about human culture. Others, like Thefar, were still trying to understand how they had lost. Your species is strange, Kethvar said to Dr. Kong during one of their talks. You are weak individually, but strong together. That's what makes us human, Dr. Kong replied. We work together. We help each other. We never give up. Admiral. Song's fleet had grown to 50 ships. More were coming from Earth every month. The Korean Space Defense Force was building bases throughout the sector. Director Lee Hyren, who now ran the Terran Expansion Initiative, stood with Tejo on the observation deck of the new space station. The galaxy is talking about what happened. Here, she said, some species are afraid of us now. Others want to be our allies. Good, Tejo said. Let them know that humans are not prey animals. We are explorers, builders, defenders. And if someone tries to hunt us, We hunt them back, Lee finished. On Earth, Ambassador Park Min-ho was speaking to the Galactic Council. Representatives from hundreds of alien species listened as he spoke. The human race is claiming this sector of space, he said. We will defend it. We will protect any species that asks for our help. And we will fight anyone who tries to hunt thinking beings for sport. Some aliens in the audience looked afraid. Others looked interested. A few looked like they wanted to be friends with these strange new warriors. Humans do not start wars, Ambassador Park continued. But if you bring war to us, we will finish it. Back on Kepler-4 for to be, the colonists had returned to their work. The mines were producing again. Children played in the streets. Life was normal. But everyone remembered. They remembered the hunt. They remembered the fear. And they remembered how. They had fought back, and one Kim Sora was still working with alien technology, making new weapons and tools. We learned so much, she told Taeho. Their science, their weapons, their ships. We can use all of it. What will we do with it? Taeho asked. Explore, Sora said with a smile. Build, discover new worlds, and if anyone tries to stop us, ... Pointed to the weapons she had built from captured alien technology. Taeho nodded. The hunt was over. Aliens had learned that humans were not prey. Now it was time to show the galaxy what humans could really do when they set their minds to it. The age of human expansion had begun.